go. Welcome to the June Plastic Oceans team. Thank you all. Well, the 3, 4 of you. There's a 4th person here who hasn't put, Lily, you haven't got your camera on, so I can't see you. I don't mind if you want to remain hidden, but I can't see you on my screen. Anyway, thank you for those for coming. The point and purpose of today is we are going to run. You're on the train. Okay, got it. We are going to run through your itinerary, your flights, money, costs, iPhones, SIM cards, kit, personal admin, health and safety. Okay, we're going to whiz through it with the intention, by the time we finished, you are going to feel so ready for this adventure. Okay, now, any questions, stick your hand up, wave at me, whatever it is to get my attention as we go through, so I can answer any questions. Okay, be interactive. So, starting with your flights. Okay, I'm just going to change my screen. With your flights, everybody. So, Meryl, you're arriving the day before. Everybody else is all organized. So Zoe is in charge of getting everyone's flight plan logged on our system. So ultimately, you, regardless of what time you arrive, you will be picked up by somebody at arrivals holding a LEAP sign. If they don't have a LEAP sign, they might have by accident picked up a Campchakera sign. So LEAP, Campchakera. Remember those 2 words. Campchakera are our kind of partners on the ground, and occasionally the taxi people can pick up the wrong sign. So, okay, LEAP, Campchakera. When you arrive at Costa Rica, you know, it's a wonderful airport. It's really high tech. It's not going to freak you out at all. It's not like arriving in the old days in a kind of cowshed in Madagascar. No, this is a nice airport. When you come out, big slidey doors, you come out into the open area. Wait there, okay? Do not wander off, and do not go into the cafe or wandering down because nobody's there. They will turn up, they're just parking. So sit tight, do not wander off, okay? They will be there. You will all then get transferred to the Rosa of America, which is a gorgeous little hotel we've used for, God, since I was there pre-COVID. It's family run. It's in a compound. It's got a lovely pool, very local, but it's clean and tidy, local food, but you feel super safe and welcome to Costa Rica because you will be up at the crack of dawn. Yes, with jet lag and with all the noisy birds. So if you are a light sleeper, take your earplugs. Okay, the birds in Costa Rica and the monkeys, they know how to wake you up. Okay, and we're probably talking about 4 in the morning. So earplugs if you're a light sleeper. Okay, so that is your arrival time. With regard to your flights, remember to enter Costa Rica, you need proof of leaving Costa Rica. Now, I don't care if that is a return flight out or a bus ticket, but you have to have proof on arrival. Some people won't get asked it, but if you are and don't have it, they will turn you around and put you on the first plane out of the country. So you have been warned. Visas, we all know you don't need visas to enter Costa Rica, but if you're flying through the States or Canada, you need a visa, the transit visas, the ESTA for that, and the Canadian visa. Do not forget those if you're going through the States and Canada. Okay, any questions on your arrivals, flights? All good? All good.
Oh, sorry, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah.
I think I'm on a flight with someone, but I was just wondering
who
that is. I don't know who it is. Yeah.
Right, wait there.
I think I'm sure.
Wait there. I can double check. Different spreadsheet, flights Costa Rica. Okay, so can you give me?
Oh, sorry. I'm Tallulah.
Tallulah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm the one who's on the phone. Yeah.
Okay, Tallulah, you are flying out on United with Isabel. Okay.
Okay. Cool. She's not on this.
No.
Oh, okay.
So I will hook you up with a recording. If you've all got my permission, I will just hook you up and put all your emails so you can see each other's email. So if you set up a WhatsApp. Oh, Zoe set up a WhatsApp. You're all in.
Yeah.
So access her there. So remember, Isabel and Tallulah, you need your Esther to go through the states.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Then Kristen, Ella, Lily, and Daisy, you're on the Lufthansa flight. And Meryl, you're on the KLM the day before. Okie dokes. Right. All happy?
Perfect. Yes.
Cool. Okay. Now we're going to go through money. I'm going to do the itinerary at the end. So money, I would take just as a precaution, $100 cash on you in your wallet. Okay. That's just good practice, just in case money. But you will get the local currency out from the ATMs in Costa Rica. So do not try to get the local currency out while you're at home, because on day one, you'll be taken to the ATM to get yourself organized. When it comes to bank cards, definitely take your normal bank debit card, okay? And two, take, if you've got time to get it organized, a Revolut, Starling, or Monzo card. Now, Meryl, I don't know if they have those in, they don't. Okay, so you're just taking your debit card.
Let's have a look at Chase Bank.
Okay, Zoe's saying, Meryl, try Chase Bank, because they often do these types of cards that I'm talking about, which give you free money withdrawals. Because my recommendation is to take little and often, take money out little and often, because the Costa Rican currency is the colon. It's not how you pronounce it, it's just how I remember it. No, it's childishly amuses me every time. But it comes in denominations of millions. So you literally get 10 quid out and you've got these kind of millions, a kind of million notice to a pound. Literally, you literally walk out with wads. So just be careful with how many millions you get out at any one time. Okay? But there are ATMs everywhere. When it comes to your telephones, like your bank cards, take 2 telephones. Your normal phone, which is completely geared up for you, your sexy phone, okay? But please take a backup burner phone. Everybody has a knackered phone in their top drawer. It's somewhere in the kitchen, okay? Somebody in the family has an old phone. Shove it in your bag, because if you drop, break, get your phone nicked, getting a replacement phone in Costa Rica is near impossible and hugely expensive. So if only half of you remember to take a crappy backup phone, then that's brilliant. If somebody else drops it, you can all look after each other. Okay. Local SIM cards, there's Wi-Fi everywhere. Okay, apart from in one place, we'll come to that, but pretty much Wi-Fi throughout the whole of Costa Rica. But if you want to get a local SIM card, easy peasy, you can get that in day one in Santa Teresa. Okay, you'll be shown where and how, and they're cheap as chips and easy to navigate. So do that when you're there. Okay. Kit list. Have a look at the kit list in My Leap, in the My Leap area. Everything on there is for a reason. But the main 2 things I want to draw your attention to is how many pairs of shoes you take. Okay. You don't want to take more than 3 pairs of shoes. I would recommend you take your nice trainers, which you wear in the evenings, you know, your kind of disco trainers, a rubbishy pair of trainers that you have no intention of bringing home at the end of the trip, which you can go hiking in, they can get wet, you simply don't care about them, and a pair of Crocs or Birkies or flip-flops. But probably, I know Crocs, ugliest shoes known to man, but they're really practical. But the plastic Birkenstocks, they're perfect. Okay, you can wear them literally every day. You can go hiking in those. Don't tell the team I've said you can go hiking in them. They'll slap my wrist. But that is a perfect shoe to take. When it comes to your luggage, no hard luggage, no hard shell bags. Okay, you need a soft duffel bag or rucksack that is malleable to be shoved in the back of a minibus or strapped onto the top of a minibus. Okay, dokes? No hard shells. And your day rucksack, that is really useful to have a day rucksack, which is about 20 liters. It's what you'd use on the aeroplane. But when you go to ASVO and places, you could just use it to pack away a couple of days, 2 to 3 days stuff. Okay, and that it's quite comfortable on the shoulders. I.e., what I'm saying is, don't take your old school backpack, which is knackered full of holes and got really sharp, crusting shoulders. Don't do that. Upgrade to something a bit better. Okay, so shoes and luggage are the main things, but pack hot and humid. Okay, it's hot and humid apart from when you're in Monteverde, where it can be quite chilly. So you will need a long sleeve trousers and top, maybe an extra layer when you're there in the cloud forest. That's the only time you're going to chill down. The rest, hot and humid. Any questions on your kit?
Just quickly,
Yeah.
you said to bring a sleeping bag, right? So do we bring a sleeping, on the list it says some sleeping bag or liner?
A liner is good. Forget the sleeping bag. Forget the
Yeah,
sleeping bag. I'm going to take it off the kit list. A liner is good. The liner is good when you go to ASVO, because it's very, very basic, and if you've got a liner, you just feel safe and nice. You've got your own zone. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah.
But in Monteverde now, they provide duvets and sheets and things, so you're warm and cozy.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Washing, okay. When it comes to washing, some people say, do I need to take, 4 pants for like 2 weeks? No, you don't. You're going to wash your pants and your bras every night when you're having a shower, hang them up on the line. T-shirts, these skimpy little tops, wash and go. But everywhere, in every section of your itinerary, you can easily use a laundrette service for about $10–15 a bag load, pick up the next day. So there's all that availability. Post, there is no post to Costa Rica. Zip, nothing, absolutely nothing. So if you leave it, if you've left it behind, talking about underwear, one of the girls on 2 trips ago forgot all her underwear. So it's like tough, you've forgotten it, you have to go out and buy it. Okay, but you can get everything you need out in Costa Rica. Okay, there's one weird thing which I've been told you can't get on some instances, but then I've been told actually it's no problem. When it comes to sanitary towels, Tampax, just take enough for the trip, because they're not readily available everywhere. Don't ask me why, I don't know, but they're not readily available in all chemists. Okay. Health form, please, any weird health issues, not weird, that sounds like I'm belittling health issues, I'm not, but if you might think it's run of the mill, such as somebody in the few trips ago had a severe nut allergy and failed to tell us, okay, we need to know that so that we can prepare and look after you when you're overseas. And I really mean it, even when it comes to mental health issues, level of fitness, back issues, things like that. Tell us, because it's all dealt with huge discretion and respect, but makes our project leaders mindful, and they can look after you just that little bit extra, give you that bit extra bit that you may need. Okay, so let us know before you go. Okay, health and safety. You're not on a school trip. Okay, you're not going to be treated like you're on a school trip. So forget that kind of curfews, this, that, and the other. That doesn't exist on an elite program. But in return, we need, respect back, especially when you're in the party towns of Santa Teresa and Samara. There are wonderful opportunities to kind of go out in the evenings, explore, beach parties, you name it. But listen to the advice of your leaders on the ground when you're there, okay? Because they have the local intel. They can tell you where to go, where to avoid, and really respect what they're saying. It's simple rules like, don't bring anybody back to the camp late at night. Nobody is welcome. If they're not a leaper or a volunteer, nobody is welcome back into camp. A simple rule to respect. It's amazing how many people push the boundaries on that one. If you're going to be back at 1 a.m. and you're not back till 3, that makes everybody in camp worry, because they don't know where you are. Always go out in a pack of 2 or 3, never go out on your own. So it's little things like that. You will be drilled into you at every place, but just respect what they're saying, because everything they're saying to you comes from a health and safety point of view. Okay, that's it. I can take my maternal hat off now. Now we're going to the fun part. Okay, your itinerary. Okay, now it is 6 weeks and it is a fun itinerary of different, I'm just going to get it back up. June, okay, next. So we're kind of breaking it up. So you've got the first 4-week chunk. You are going to be 3 weeks of that in Santa Teresa, but within that time, you're going to go off for a week. So you're going to be unpacked for 4 weeks, but in your 3rd week, you're going to take your little day rucksack full of your goodies for a trip to Cirenas, which is one of my favorite places in the whole wide world, which is your just gorgeous off-grid turtle sanctuary. Okay, but it's more than a turtle sanctuary. It's a reserve. It's a privately run reserve, and I'll come to that later. But you'll see how wonderful it's got funds. It's beautifully run, beautiful food, stylish hammocks, you name it. It's just a real eco-friendly retreat in the middle of nowhere with its own beach. It's just phenomenal. Now, I know you're not in turtle nesting season, but I've been there in June and saw a turtle. So you never say never, but there's still masses of work to be done in these turtle sanctuaries, because they have got to get rid of the old nests, take away all that sand and re-establish it with fresh sand ready for the next season. So you will learn all about the life cycle of the turtles, but at the same time, you'll be taken out into the reserve to look at wildlife, get involved with their permaculture. It's a whole setup, eco-friendly, self-sufficient reserve. And it will kind of blow your mind how other people have chosen to live. And it's just wonderful. When you're there, no Wi-Fi. Okay, so we try and treat this little phase as a detox phase. Phones down, off grid, really zone out and live in, in Mother Nature, as they say. So you will love that phase. So you've got week 1, Santa Teresa, week 2, Santa Teresa, week 3, out in Cirenas, week 4, back in Santa Teresa. So your 3 weeks in Santa Teresa are going to be a mix of surfing, Spanish, volunteering, and exploring days. Okay, so no 2 days are the same. Now, I'm not going to give you I've got a brief itinerary. You arrive on the Sunday. You're arriving on the Saturday. The Sunday, you're going to be transferred to Santa Teresa. Monday, intro day, being taken so you can learn the kind of law of the land, ATMs, phones, all that stuff. Then straight into Tuesday, up surfing and Spanish, Wednesday, Spanish and volunteering, Thursday, surfing, Spanish. So you can see every day is different, but don't think it will be stuck like that, because if the tide changes or the weather's bad or they will mix everything around. So the itinerary, you will get everything done, but you know, it's weather dependent when it comes to the surfing. So do give yourself a little bit of go with a flexi mindset for a flexi schedule. But Santa Teresa is a beautiful, it's one of those places where you arrive, okay, you're kind of some big trip to get to Santa Teresa, you know, drive, you then catch the ferry, then you drive. And on the mainland of Santa Teresa, you think, hey, Costa Rica really works. I mean, look, these roads, there's traffic lights, everyone's really obedient. It's just like, God, I feel like I'm in, you know, I'm back at home. Then in fact, catch the ferry over to the peninsula, and you get over the other side, you're like, oh my God, nope, doesn't work at all. Roads full of potholes, electricity, cables everywhere, and you just think, okay, welcome to the developing world. When you get round to Santa Teresa, it is just this long road. It goes on for about 2 or 3 kilometers with, you know, one row of houses and kind of cool beach places, beach bars on the coast side, and this wild beach. And then you've got a few shops, villas tucked away in the hill directly behind. You've got George Clooney up there. So it's you can imagine it's uber cool, very yogi, very, very surfy vibe. Everybody's kind of surf yoga cool that's kind of wandering around. So, and everyone has a lot of tattoos. Please don't go and get a tattoo. It's not the right place to go and get a tattoo done in Costa Rica, okay? I can't guarantee that the needles are going to be clean, so please don't do it. But you'll see that every surf dude is covered in tattoos. Yoga retreats everywhere, delicious food. You've got sushi bars, you've got all types of restaurants there. So it's a really nice place. Your camp, Campchakera, is a 10-minute walk from the beach up the hill. Now, Campchakera have been our partners for the last, 15, 16 years. And they have built this, I think Chris is, I don't know, you've got the central hub. It's about a 5-acre kind of plot. You've got the central hub with the dining room, pool, pizza area, hammocks. Then you've got bungalows all dotted around the garden where you will stay. So it's a real community vibe. Chris and his wife still live there. You've got Jack living there. You've got all the leaders kind of coming and going. So it's got a real buzz. You have breakfast and lunch in camp, and then supper is out down in the town. Okay, now supper, we're going to come to budgets, but you've got to be careful with where you go and have supper, because you've got the luxury sushi bars there, but you're not going to go there. You're going to go to the local sodas and have a pizza and just kind of the lower budget stuff. I don't want anybody saying that they've spent hundreds of dollars per week because they've been having 10 quid cocktails every night. That is not going to happen. It's not the time or the place for doing all of that. Okay, so it's a wonderful, wonderful home. You really feel like it's home. So there are 7 of you now. There'll probably be a couple more by the time you go, leapers. But Chris takes his own, the equivalent of the leap, but from Germany and other places in Europe, who also are kind of young. So they will be coming and going. So there'll be lots of other gappers in the camp to chat to make friends with. So it's a social vibe. Okay. Any questions about Santa Teresa before I move on to the second phase of your itinerary? No? Okay. So the second phase is you leave Santa Teresa and you go up to the cloud forest to Monteverde, and then you go from there around further down the coast, back to the coast to Samara beach, and where you go and live. It's a kind of much quieter beach area where you then go to your second phase of your turtle conservation at a place called Asvo. Now, ASVO is a public-run, government-run turtle sanctuary. So the purpose of doing Cirenas and this is you can see how wildly different two places. They've got the same intention, but with different funds, they do things in different ways. So it's just really interesting to see the both approaches. At your ASVO phase, it's a Robinson Crusoe experience, okay? The beds are kind of rickety and old. The mosquito nets might have holes in them. You're doing all your own cooking. It is basic, but everyone loves this phase. You've got amazing sunsets and sunrises. So it's just, you just see it for what it is, but it is your kind of Robinson Crusoe moment. When you're in Monteverde, every morning you'll have some set activity, exploring the cloud forest, going on the jungle, the hanging bridges tour. But every afternoon, you're going to have time for your own activities because there's so many adventurous things to do there. Bungee jumping, zip wiring, horse riding, going on coffee tours, all that type of thing. So no one needs to decide now. We'll talk about it with your guide when you're there as to which ones you want to do, and you book it on the day. Okay. I highly recommend the zip wiring. Highly, highly recommend that. And if you're thinking, I can't afford to do zip wiring and the bungee jumping is $110. Zip wiring is about $80. I would say do the zip wiring, because at the end of the zip wire, you can do this hideous thing called the Tarzan jump, which is where you throw yourself off atop a tree and literally fling, free fall and then fly across the jungle. Absolutely hideous. Some people love it, but it could be an alternative to doing the bungee. Okay, so but the zip wiring is really, really fun. It's really scary, but if I can do it, you definitely can do it. Okay, so at the end of your trip, you will then get back to San Jose, ready for your flight home, or you can be dropped off somewhere else if you don't want to come home. Okay, so any questions on the itinerary?
This is a bit of an annoying question. I think I've emailed before, but I'm celiac, so no gluten. Would it be better for me to give people, because you mentioned they'll be cooking food, right, at some places, and then we'll do it ourselves, to give them money to buy gluten-free, like flour or something, or should I just bring it out from England? What do you think would be better? Is it worth like carrying it all around with me?
Yeah, it says that you could buy gluten-free flour out there, then you just ask that she said that I think it's about $7 for 2 big bags, and then they make their food with the gluten-free.
Okay, Alice has already sorted this. So she has spoken to Jack. You can buy gluten-free flour out there, which is about $7.
Yeah. So
And then, yeah, and then you just give it to the cooks, and they can do with it what is required. It's usually kind of for pizza nights, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But the food in the camp is usually really fresh, kind of vegetable, kind of vegetarian style curries, fruit. So I think you'll be. We've managed before, so you will be fine.
Yeah, perfect. Just wondering what's better. Thank you.
Okay. When it comes to budgets, okay, this is what I mentally want you to budget for. Every night when you're in Santa Teresa, you're going to be going out for supper. Okay. When you're at Samara, you're going to be going out for supper. Monteverde, you're going to be going out for supper. But when you're on the turtle sanctuaries, supper is included. Okay. So that is out of 6 weeks, 4 weeks worth of evenings, you're out and about. So that's where your budget can actually be blown. So that's where you've got to be very mindful and together look for kind of cheap options. Your guides will tell you where to go. Alternatively, you go to the supermarkets, buy your own food and cook it in the house and then just go out for drink. So there are ways to get around that. So I would be budgeting, hi Daisy, I would be budgeting about $15, $20 a night to eat, but it all depends on how much how many beers you're going to have in the evenings. and how many smoothies you're going to order. All that type of thing does add up. But when it comes to big ticket items, these are the budgets. You've got the bungee jump, which, and you don't have to do any of this. I'm just telling you, just to kind of, so in your head you can budget. Bungee jump is 110. The zip wiring is about 80, 85. There's a Tortuga trip, which everyone loves, which is going out on boats, going kind of looking at the whales and the dolphins. That's about 70. There's a waterfall, but all depends on the season, a waterfall trek, which is about $20, $25, something along those lines. Those are your big ticket items to budget for. Horse riding in Monteverde, actually don't know how much that costs, but everything seemed to me is about $50. But, oh, it's $70. The horses, $70, between 50 and 70. Okay, so just in your head, you might think, okay, I'm going to budget for that, and I don't need to do anything else. Okie dokes. So that is everything from me. Any questions from from you guys? All good? Daisy, I've recorded this, so I will send you the recording. So don't you worry.
Yeah, sorry, I'm in the airport right now.
Oh, exciting. Where are you going?
I just arrived in Spain, in Bilbao. So
Oh, nice. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, I'll send you the recording. Okay, so any questions, email us. We could get you organized. And other than that, have a wonderful trip. You're going to love it.
So sorry, one last one.
Yeah.
And just, I know this might be stupid, but in terms of like, if you're planning on going traveling after and booking that, would it be sensible to bring some sort of iPad or laptop to be able to book that with? Like, just to make it easier, or is that just,
No, it does make life so easy.
Yeah,
It does. I know, for booking tickets, flight tickets, looking up things, it's a dream. I would take an iPad, not a laptop.
Okay.
And there's Wi-Fi. There's great Wi-Fi throughout, apart from at the 2 turtle sanctuaries.
okay, amazing. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Go for gold, girls. I look forward to following your adventure.
Thank you.
Cheerio. Bye, 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 bye.
Thank you.